Hello, this is Mr. Stein, and in this video we're going to learn how to calculate the volume of rectangular prisms. So as you can see on my page here, I already have some rectangular prisms made, and we're going to use this to show you the process of calculating the volume of a rectangular prism. Let's take a look at the first one. The first one is only one set of cubes high. It's 4 cubes long, 2 cubes wide, and 1 set of cubes high. So you can see it's 1, 2, 3, 4 times 2. There's 2 4s. There's 8 cubes in this. So the volume is equal to 4 times 2, which is my length times my width. This is called my base. This is my base. That's equal to 8 cubes. Now this is only one layer tall, so I take my 8 and I multiply it by 1 to get a volume of 8 units cubed. So I take my base area, my base shape, which is this here, 4 times 2, and it's one layer tall. Now that's like this shape right here. If you look at this shape right here, it is 8 cubes in size, 8 cubes in volume, 4 cubes by 2 cubes by 1 cube. Right, now let's look at this next shape right here. It has the same base. It has a base that is 4 cubes by 2 cubes. So to compute its volume, we do its base, 4 times 2, 4 times 2, and then we're going to multiply that by 2 because there's 2 layers tall. So the base has 8 cubes in it. There's 8 cubes in the base layer, just like this one. There's 8 cubes in the base layer. There's 8 cubes in the base layer here. Now there's 2 layers. So we take our 8 cubes that's in the base layer. We multiply it by 2 because there's 2 layers. Get 16 cubic units. It's like if I take this shape right here and I apply another layer on top of it. You can see how there was 8 cubes in the base layer. Now there's 2 layers of cubes, so it's 16 units cube. Now let's look at the next one right here. We have 4 in the length, 2 in the width. That means my first layer right here has 8 cubes in it. But now there's 3 layers. So to determine my volume, I figure out my base, 4 times 2. That's this one right here. Then I times it by how many layers there are. 1, 2, 3. So 4 times 2, there's 8 cubes in the base. Then we multiply it by 3 because there's 3 layers tall. And it's equal to 24 cubic units. Now right here I've got my shape here that you can see has 2 layers. Now if I attach a third layer to it, now you can see how each of the layers has 8 cubes in it and it has 3 layers. So to figure out the volume, we figure out how much is in the base, how many cubes make up the base, and then multiply by how many layers there are. Or if you look at the formula, the volume is equal to the length times the width times the height. Now we're going to do this with these 2 rectangular prisms down here. So my first one, I'm going to do my volume. So I figure out the volume of this base, the area of this base by doing my length times my width, 6 times 5. And then, after I'm done that, I'm going to multiply in how tall it is, how many layers up it is. 6 times 5 times 4. Now, 6 times 5 is 30. And we still have our 4 left over. And 30 times 4 is equal to 120 centimeters cubed. So to figure out the volume of a rectangular prism, you do the length times the width, and you multiply it by the height. All right, let's do the second one. The same process. Volume is equal to, we figure out the volume of this base, or sorry, the area of this base shape, which is a rectangle. 12 times 4. That's this 12 times this 4. Then we're going to take that and multiply that area of the base times the height, which is 4. So our volume is going to equal to 12 times 4 is 48. 48 times 4. And then my final volume is equal to 48 times 4. Well, I can do this by doing 50 times 4 is 200. And then taking away 8, 192 centimeters cubed. That means if this rectangular prism was 4 centimeters by 12 centimeters by 4 centimeters, you could take 192 of those little cubes and make up that volume. So if we are going to write out formulas for calculating the volume of a rectangular prism, volume is equal to area of the base, that's this rectangle here, that's the 6 times 5, area of a rectangle is length times width, times the height of the rectangular prism. Or we could write it this way. Volume is equal to length times the width. That gives us the area of the base, the length times the width, times the height. This volume formula works for any rectangular prism. All right, I hope by now you can calculate the volume of a rectangular prism. I hope this is helpful to you. If you have any questions, please contact me directly, and thank you for watching.